Do you sense one of your friends, Hoodle?
Mahag Sar. That makes 4 out of the 5 realms that I've visited now.
I wonder what kind of lord we're gonna find there.
It doesn't matter. If they try to get in our way, we'll take them down and that'll be that.
There's something in the water. I didn't realize there was a pond here.
Yeah, this is Taka Pond. And it happened to have saved my life once upon a time.
What do you mean?
As a kid, I survived life under the past lords by escaping here when I needed to. It's terrible to swim in, but great for catching a bite for dinner away from Renin eyes. Bear in mind, our rations back then weren't enough to live off of. You had to take matters into your own hands if you wanted enough food to survive.
But how did you catch them? With your bare hands?
That might take a while. Fish are prone to swim away at the first sign of trouble. I'd put bait or a lure on a line and use it with a fishing rod. You must not be familiar with fishing if this sounds new to you. Here, let me show you how it's done. Where should I cast my line? There we go. Anybody could reel in that.
That went pretty well.
Yeah! I've got something. I'll catch something bigger next time.
Maybe you could keep it as a pet.
And that's all there is to it.
Wow. It seems like you need to have good reflexes to catch anything. I don't know if it's really for me. Kisara? I think I've seen enough.
Oh, sorry. I guess I'm just in my own little world when I go fishing.
Looks like we're going to be here for a while.
That's how fishing goes. You wait for a bite, and then the real battle begins. Miguel told me that different fish live in different regions, and you have to pick the right rod and lure for what you're hoping to catch.
But that doesn't change the fact it's a giant time sink.
Of course, each fish has its own unique flavor, too. And some of them are supposed to be extremely delicious.
When you put it like that, maybe it's worth me trying my hand at fishing after all.
You're just in it for the food.
I was hoping we'd get to fish during our travels. And it just so happens I made sure to grab my brother's old rod before I left Vicente. So, if you ever feel like fishing when we've got a little downtime, just let me know.
Good to hear. Thanks for showing us. Okay!
I'm always amazed what healing arts can do.
Just doing my job.
Hey. Is it just me, or have those two barely spoken a single word to one another?
I know, right? But after everything that happened with Miguel, is it really any wonder?
Kinda puts a damper on the whole journey though, huh? How long do you think they're gonna keep this up?
If it bothers you that much, why don't you ask them?
Why do I have to ask?
How come you walk together like that?
She really doesn't beat around the bush.
You mean Kisara and myself?
You hadn't noticed? You've been practically joined at the hip ever since we left Vicente.
I guess it's force of habit, most likely. I was always ready to protect him, should the need arise. It sort of came with the job description.
Right. From being in the Elder Menancia Guard. Although, Dohalim's pretty capable of defending himself, isn't he?
Having guards doesn't necessarily mean the one being guarded is weak. No one's perfect all the time.
Even so, it's not like they're entirely wrong, Kisara. You're no longer in my employ, after all.
I don't know. I mean, if it's what she's used to and you're both comfortable with it, then who are we to judge?
But she doesn't serve him anymore. It isn't normal for her to keep following him around like she still does.
You know, she's probably right. And a lot has changed over the last few days. I guess it wouldn't hurt to rethink our relationship in light of the new circumstances. Perhaps I'll give it some thought after all. Does that sound all right by you?
Of course.
You might want to stop asking his permission for every little thing while you're at it.
Sorry. It's not that easy, shaking off old habits. I'll probably need a little time to get fully used to it.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
Ow!
Dragon Swarm!
Where are you going? More for the sky! Airborne beast! My special! Freeze Lancer!
Pesky airborne scoundrels!
Sounds like a job for yours truly! Lightning Arm! Raging Fist! I'm only getting started!
Do it!
Now or never.
Annihilation!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
See that?
That training's paying off!
Thousand Gales! Carry you
You're
aside!
mine! It's over!
Now!
It was not...
I think I'm getting stronger.
Oh yeah? Think you could beat me at arm wrestling?
When have I not beaten you?
Right. I'll just go on ahead then.
All right.
There's nowhere to run from my arcs!
When he slows down... That's our chance! Take this!
Leave the agile ones to me.
One at a time!
Demon Fang! Double
Let
Demon
astral
Fang!
energy!
Swallow Blade!
A freezing storm!
Resonate with the
Feel
earth!
the ice
There
storm!
is mine! too fast!
Resonate with... Stand back. I'll trip it up. Resonate with the earth. Stalagmite. Resonate with the earth. Stalagmite.
Escape my judgment.
In a bind.
Raging cascade. Lightning. Breath. Hear me.
It's
Flame of
time.
fury. Burning.
Can't get out of this.
Glacial spear. Pierce evil. Freeze lancer.
Prepare to be sealed.
Raging cascade.
Demon Fang!
Begin. Now we're in a bind.
Sleep now. Lunar corruption. This one. Lunar blast. I'm all stuffed
Prepare
up.
to be sealed.
Annihilation. Mega ray. All right.
Do you require a
None shall escape my judgment.
elusive deity? Tornado drive. Begin.
freezing
Taste it.
storm.
Resonate with the earth.
Raging tornado.
Elusive
In
deity.
here. Get on in there with the others. Only getting dance in the wind. Seal. More for the stockpile.
Can you take it? Take this.
Reload. I can do this all day. Glacial spear.
Have this.
Pierce evil.
Elusive deity. Tornado drive.
Thousand gales. Carry the strike.
Benediction
light.
Splendid flash.
Shattering
of pieces. Attack time. Slot heal. Can't get out of this.
Lightning over. Spread.
Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim. I'm glad you're on our side.
I'm simply glad to hear that I can make myself useful to you all. Huh?
What's wrong?
We seem to have come across some rather unusual objects.
What, you mean that pile of garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before. I'm intrigued.
Are you curious about this stuff, Rinwell?
Yeah. I think he might have found some old Danon relics. They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renans first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine the sight must be unsettling to you.
Not really, just that it must be nice to be a Renan who has time to indulge in stuff like that, unlike the rest of us.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renans have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does. Holding it in your hands like this, one can feel and engage with the distant past in a way no history book can ever accomplish.
I'll take your word for it. Well, seeing as it's Danon history, just make sure you're careful with it. All right, Dohalim?
But of course. There's history in the air here. I can smell it.
I don't smell anything.
Don't encourage him.
My exploits are bearing fruit.
I've noticed that sometimes we come across enemies who fight like you, and try to dodge our attacks at the last second.
I hate those guys. I can get some hits in when they move into attack, but otherwise they slip past damn near everything else I throw at them.
If what you're seeking is a way to more reliably hit them, there is a solution.
Try to outclass them on reflexes?
I possess the ability to command Earth elemental beings to some extent. They emerge as the land itself and take root on my command. They will swiftly bind the enemies, at which point you can dispatch them.
Huh?
What he means is that he can make plants grow to hold the enemies in place. At least I think that's probably what he's saying.
I'm glad at least one of us understands him. So basically, if we find an enemy that likes to dodge, we should let Dohalim handle it.
I shall do what I can within my modest means to help.
I just noticed none of you other Danans have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renans.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Danan slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renan doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm my own woman, and this is my chance to have a new beginning.
This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Danan, while the Renans are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed. And it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Danans in our group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Danans in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for...
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place.
Visibility along this path will remain limited for some time. Take care not to get ambushed.
I'm surprised you know the terrain here so well. Lords don't strike me as having much time for wandering in the woods.
Sometimes I would take strolls along here when I wished to be alone.
You always did have a bad habit of disappearing without telling any of us guardsmen.
It's so hilly around here. I can feel my feet getting blisters.
That's mountain hiking for you. It can be pretty tough if you're not used to these sorts of trails.
I take it you're comfortable with them then?
Oh yeah. We used to run up and down these slopes all the time for our training exercises.
Damn. You weren't messing around.
Right, here goes!
I'm ready! May
Here I come!
Gales tear you
Dragon
to
Swarm! You picked the wrong fight! Take it! Plasma shot!
It's a duel of the arms!
You're on! Eternal devastation! We got fire!
These enemies aren't got me! Let a marksman handle
No
complaints here!
All yours!
Almost there!
It's over! Dragon Swarm!
Here, let me help! First aid! Sleep now!
Now I come through!
Raging
Eternal devastation!
You made quick work of them.
Want me to pick up your slack then?
Just pointing it out.
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
Take this!
Reload!
Plasma shock!
Move to the wind!
First strike!
I'm all
Dragon
geared up!
Swarm!
Do it!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
I'm even stronger than before.
Eat dirt!
Let's go! It's like trying to keep up with a wall!
You're on!
Flying freak! Why can't they just sit still?
Sia, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done! This will come in handy! Astral energy!
Say no more.
Got it!
Well done!
Not a chance!
You're mine!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah, and the pummeling to me.
You're finished!
Oh, now I'm real damaged. If only I'd been more careful.
Take this!
I'll bring you back
It's
from
over!
I'll finish you here and now.
You're mine! Dragon Swarm!
Here's a healer!
Plasma shock!
First aid!
Dragon Swarm!
Hurricane!
You're mine!
Do it! Eagle
Oh,
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
Will this help? Light Astral Energy! Lightning
Here I
conduct!
come!
Thunder! Healing circle!
Strike! It's on! Strike!
This one's mine! Vanquish now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Looks like it could be worth something. I found some equipment.
Let me take a look at it.
No backing down.
No escape!
Hey, when did I get so popular?
Not today!
Watch this!
Take this! Dragon Form!
Dragon Shell! In a bind? Glimmer Dragon!
Here's a healing art.
Plasma Shock!
Ready to aim.
The enemy wields armor too.
You'll soon see about that. Burning strike. Glacial spear.
You're not my finest.
You'll pay for that!
Freeze Lancer.
You're finished!
Now, I'll bring you back from death to birth.
Take this!
Resuscitation.
Plasma
Feel
Shock!
force. Will this help? More with that heat.
I'm not feeling so great.
Take this! Plasma Shock!
I'm on it.
Now I can let loose.
You made quick work of them.
Want me to pick up your slack then?
Just pointing it out.
These little ones are hardly
Prepare
worth
to
our
be
time.
sealed. Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content. Your power is a spectacle to behold.
Take this!
I'm not trying to be dramatic with it.
Still, it's a part of
Not
you.
today.
Embrace it.
Take this!
Divine streak. Ray.
I'll smash you!
Do it!
Here I come!
Hey! Blow them away!
None shall escape my judgment.
I'm on it. Glimmer
Here I come!
roll
Here's
now!
Plasma Shock!
Where are you going?
Take this! You're finished!
Demons descend! Flashing Fang!
Hey! Poodle's quivering! I think we're about to be real lucky!
I won't forgive you. May 1,000 nails tear you to shreds.
Plasma Shock!
Gusty nail.
Devastation!
I'll heal you
You're
all.
mine.
I'm so good with airborne targets. Healing
Here
goes.
Plasma Shock!
Lightning condemned.
Okay, here I go.
Excited. It's over.
Do they not teach you to say thank you in Dana?
Not to a Renin, they don't.
Hold on!
Fred.
Glimmer
Dance in
Dragon!
the wind. Air
Eternal
strike.
Devastation!
Light
You're
action.
finished!
Flame of fury. Burning strike. Glacial
Dragon
spear.
Sword.
Resuscitate. Freeze Lancer.
The abyss has got your name on them! Shattering us! We are freaking invincible!
Falcon and the others truly are strong!
What about me?
Plasma Shock!
Hear me. Flame of fury.
Devastation!
Dance in
Eternal
the wind.
Devastation!
Do it.
Come on!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! Wow, that was a nice move there.
I know, right? Bet you couldn't do it.
So it's a grab here, thrust the left leg, then use the right arm to leverage over...
Stop memorizing my move!
More Danon runes here too, I see.
What were people even thinking back then? Trying to build anything around here.
Maybe they just had that much time and energy on their hands.